I know, I did it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. He put the referee shirt on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Hoya Locker Room, episode 81, our holiday edition. We've been away for, seems like forever now. We're really happy to be back. We have two special guests, Boubacar and Johnny Jones, both repeat offenders, but we welcome them back with welcoming arms. We're calling this our number 22 special edition show. Again, it's our holiday show. And for all those Hoyas, we love you. Welcome. We're going to sit around and sit around by the fire and share some stories. And I'd like to bring in the best part of the show, which is Markham Stansbury Jr.
Very, very glad to be back here. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. It's always great to see one of my favorite people on the screen, myself. Just want to, get that clear. And you might be wondering why I have this referee shirt on. I just got certified as an official to do California high school basketball. And
congratulations.
What I do know, we have 3 22s on here. And one I affectionately call a bodyguard because he protected Allen Iverson, Boubacar. By the way, AI, I hope, Boubacar, the AI sent you a check every month while he was in the league.
Man, I'm still waiting, buddy. Still waiting on that check.
You're going to get that out there. So I want to protect the bodyguard because number 22, Gene Smith fouled everybody all the time. And Johnny Jones might be upset that he didn't actually play too much. Johnny, as I tell everybody, he is the best guy to never play for Georgetown. We always do these all-time teams. Johnny Jones, without question, should have been getting some tick.
Appreciate that.
So let's just jump right into this. So what we're doing, we're trying something new here. Jenny and I talked about it. We want to have guys come on, talk about your best and worst practices and games. Tell us why that was, and then maybe have a favorite story about your time on the hilltop. So we're gonna go age before beauty. Johnny Jones, what was your best game and why?
Wow, that's easy. I mean, like you said, only had 7 to choose from? It was probably my third game when we was in Hawaii. Because I got some run. I think I scored 14 points. I had the best point guard in the league at the time, Tom Lane, give me the ball.
Tom Lane was dishing it to you.
I know, boy. Hey, he was kicking it, I was running.
So you were in Hawaii, so against Hawaii Loa?
Yeah. Against competition, okay. I think my best game was probably Virginia Tech. And I remember that game so much because it was during that same year and I still was feeling like I was going to be playing and everything. And I remember, I think that's when it kind of started with the whole doghouse thing. But I got out there, I went baseline, I passed the period, went out of bounds. So damn, this motherfucker gonna take me out. But he did. So I ran off 6 straight points. And the next thing I know, I see Jaren at the bench. I said, I know he's coming for me. So So
Johnny,
okay.
I did a little, I do a little homework. So, your first 4 games, I think it was your sophomore year. Your first 4 games, you got time, you got minutes, you got points, right? Am I correct?
Correct.
I think your first 4 games, you had 35 points and 10 rebounds or whatever. So what happened after that?
Hey, your guess is as good as mine. All I know is I couldn't move from that bench. I still remember being in Providence. It was me, Tom Lang, and Anthony Tucker, and one of the heckler was
Tucker,
out.
Lang, and Jones, attorneys on the bench. I'll never forget that.
I was like, but I think that I think everyone has a style, and from coaching and everything, I've learned that people have certain type of players that fit their system, or they feel fit the type of player that they like. And what I would say is I should have transferred because I didn't fit the mold of what he wanted at that position. But I think I got caught up into the whole graduating and, you know, thinking that I could play because, you know, during the summer league, you playing and everything, and you're doing what you're doing. You like, okay, he got to play me now. But then surely as the season start going on, it's like, okay, you're not playing because of this. You're not playing because of that. And then you kind of lose confidence. A friend of mine told me that that's the most important thing that a person can give you is confidence. You know, if you, from Alonzo to Dikembe to Allen Iverson to Charles Smith, Reggie Williams, they know if they miss a shot, it ain't like they're gonna be coming to the bench because
Right.
coach has confidence in them to say, you know what, I believe in the next shot that you're gonna take.
It's
But like I
interesting
said,
that you make that comment. I talked to I was talking to Michael Jackson once, who played point guard with Gene, and we were talking about guaranteed contracts. And this is while I was still at Georgetown. And I said that guaranteed contracts were a bad idea. And he went 180 degrees the opposite way, and he said that he disagreed because if the guy's out there making the minimum and he's worried that any little thing he does is going to affect you know, his playing time, you know, whatever he can do to get in the game, he might be more apt to make mistakes. And that
Right.
when you guarantee that minimum contract, it frees guys up mentally in a way. I never thought about that. But confidence is absolutely true. I mean, that's, you know, we have no better example of that than my jump shot. I mean, it's improved drastically over the years, and it's all because I'm confident.
right.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's crazy what Johnny said. I guess it was standard practice. I mean, I think it seems like the better you're playing, the more you are susceptible to be back on the bench. I mean, I've never figured that out. I think I start having a good time when I start figuring them out. I start just, stop.
Well,
you know, I mean, it
I'm gonna
seems like
stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there, Boubacar. Because I want to go. I mean, I want to stay with the theme, but I just want for a second. I want to misdirect here and go to your senior season. Your senior season, you had injuries to Jihadi. You had injuries to, was it Boomche? You had
Ruben Boomche.
and you literally put him on your back, dude. So, what was that like?
Well, it's crazy how all of a sudden you get to Georgetown, you're labeled a defensive specialist.
Well, I had no choice, but
That's what I say. I say, people don't understand. You have to work with what you got. You got to be. I was very. I adapted because I wanted to play. Like I had to do what I had to do to get on the court, but it's every time I was given an opportunity against probably the best competition, UConn, Syracuse, the best teams. Those are my best games.
So
but all of a sudden, it's just like you don't play anymore. And like I think my senior year, he didn't have a choice. Like, you know what I mean? And I could have done that long time ago. Like I had opportunities. If I was given a little bit more opportunities, I'm not, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and complain. But just like John said earlier, Johnny, it seems like certain people, you know, no matter what, you will get your time, whether you earn it or not, you deserve it or not. You're gonna be on the floor.
So
Some people.
What would you say was your best game?
Well, my best game was against Syracuse. It was my freshman year. Obviously, we were brand new, Allen Iverson. But why was it my best game? I think it was just early in the season too. Because when I got to Georgetown, we had about 4 or 5 seniors. I mean, we had John Jacks, we had Chico, we had Kevin Mellon, we had who else did we have? John Jacks, and we have Don Reed. So we had a bunch of them. I mean, seniors.
Yeah, pro.
And on,
pro.
huh?
Yeah, pro.
Huh?
Yeah, pro.
Yes, all exactly. And on top of that, we had I'm not sure if you guys remember him, George Butler. He was a junior.
Yes. Score.
McDonald. That's right, All-American. Then we had Jerome Williams juniors, Otella Harrington juniors, on top of Allen Iverson. So we were so deep. So we were told, I mean, I was told that you probably won't get playing time this year because like this time. And I'm like, what the hell with this? I said, I'm going to play. You know what I mean? And just like.
So you said the freshman year. So the 21 point, 18 rebound game you had against Seton Hall?
No, that wasn't my best game because you got to remember back in those days, that's when really the biggest was the biggest. It was, I mean, Syracuse was loaded. They had Lawrence Moulton and all these other guys. And we play at Syracuse. I'm freshman year. It was on CBS, noon game. You guys play at Syracuse. You guys know how cold it gets. You guys know the dome. I mean, you're sitting on the bench, you're freezing. I mean, freezing. You're like, what the heck is this? I mean, it was a shock for me. I mean, not only, I'm like, I'm like, these people don't have a gym. It's just like football
stadium. They threw a court in there.
I mean, it was freezing. I'm like, how do you play here? But that was one of my, and I was not supposed to play, like, because prior to that, I was told I wasn't going to play. You have seniors who play your position. They know what we're doing. But leading to that game, I was starting to move up because just like Gene say, man, I made a name of myself. I fouled everybody. I'm like, I'm gonna play. These people are gonna know.
You're gonna get your name in the box score some way.
That's right. I say in practice, I'm gonna foul everybody. You know what I mean? And I remember this practice. Man, George Butler just turned around and said, God damn, where did you get this wild MF from? Listen, I lay his behind on the floor. He just screamed. He turned around and looked at coach, God damn, where did you get this guy from? And so it's like you're making my name for myself, then I'm moving up. Then I was the first one to get off the bench that game. With John Jacks, Chico, all of those guys. And I had 11 points. I mean, 6 rebounds, and I would make some crucial free throws at the end of the game to win the game. So to me, that was my best game because we were in a hostile environment. Mm-hmm. I mean, the biggest was strong, then really strong. I mean, to get a win away, especially at Syracuse, I mean, it's a miracle.
Does not see Markham, that says something about him because
Absolutely.
I immediately went to the game that was the best.
He scored the most points. Got
most points, most rebounds. Right. That says
that's Boo.
Yes.
You're talking to a guy who couldn't make a layup. Of course, he went to the guy where he scored the most points. You know what I mean? So, Gene, what was your best game?
So I guess for me it would be I'm going to follow Boo's lead kind of. It would be my freshman year. So my freshman year, we were playing Villanova at McDonough. I know I'm dating myself. We still played at McDonough, and going up against Stuart Granger, the point guard for Villanova. He was well established in the league, all Big East, and you never really lock anyone down. But no. I had an effect on him. I had an effect on the game, and I imparted my will on the game. And I remember the next day I got a little write up in the Washington Post. Gene Smith star on the rise. Right, that's nice. Comedy. That's comedy. But that kind of set the tone for my
the player you want to be. Right.
Yeah,
right.
The next 3 years. I mean, Big John told me from the rip, I'm bringing you here as a practice player.
Wow.
That's going to be your goal is to work hard because again, no scholarship offers or one scholarship offer, and so it's like okay. When I first got to the locker room, and you remember the locker room at McDonough that we were in was, it was a closet, but it was the Taj Mahal to me. So it was like an eye opening. You got Sleepy Floyd in there. You had I guess Ed Spriggs, and not that these people were All-Americans or anything, but
Yeah.
they were established. Eric Smith. So for me, it was just like,
hold on. I think Sleepy Floyd was an All-American. I just
yeah,
want
he was all. Well,
sleep.
Ed Spriggs was.
I just want you to know, Gene said that. I didn't.
My
Just
bad.
to declare.
Well, I guess the point I'm making, we hadn't officially gotten on the map as an established program. So for me, it was the best thing. So it would be that freshman year, that freshman game. I didn't score a point, but I was able to establish what my MO was going to be. So yeah, freshman year.
Well, Jones, I just got to say, I thought you were going to mention the Florida game. When we were at the Cap Center, Johnny Jones got in the game, and everybody was like I told you, Johnny's one of the best guys you ever meet, and
that's
liked on the team.
That's very consistent with anyone you talk to about Johnny. It's consistent, yeah.
Well liked on the team. He got in against Florida, the last 2 minutes of the game, and he scored 6 points, just like he told me. He ran off 6 points. We're getting a lot, and everybody's ecstatic. All right, Jones about to get some burn. He just put up some decent numbers and a little bit of tick against the SEC team. They got Dwayne Shensis. We get in the locker room, and Big John's, I will never forget this. He said, Johnny, everybody's happy for you.
Wow.
Because you scored. But I think the only reason you scored is because you were scared to pass the ball. I said, wow. I was like, are you kidding me? And to your point about confidence, like, I mean, you're doing the opposite of that. This dude like comes in and like no matter what he does, like I heard that, I was like, if the dude that passed and got 3 assists, he would have said, oh, only reason you passed, you were scared to shoot.
Man, that's brutal. Oof.
What I've come to realize, and I wish I had known this when I was in college, and that's why I say I should have transferred. You have so many minutes that you can use on players. And it's funny because you were saying how the Big East was the Big East back then when you was playing. And I'm thinking about my time because honestly, our team was stacked. You know, you had Alonzo, Dikembe, John Turner, and the one person that people never talk about who was an All-American, a McDonald's All-American on probably the greatest All-American team in the history of McDonald's All-American, Milton Bell.
Yep, I know old Milton. Good player, man. He was good.
You had Sam Jefferson. Honestly, he could have been a stretch four in today's game easily. Charles Smith, Jaren Jackson, Bobby Winston, Charles Smith, Dwayne Bryant, Mark Tillman, you know, like you said,
Mark Stansberry, making the Gatorade, who should have been playing. You know what I mean?
That was All-American right there. So what I've learned is that, and like I said, I wish I had known this back then, is that you're giving confidence to certain players that they're going to be in the game, and that regardless of what happens, they got to have that confidence when they come in. I just wish it would have been more competitive, and where I feel that whoever's the best, like where practice really means something. You know, where you go in and you compete, and then if you do this, this, and this, you get more playing time. But it wasn't like that, to be honest with you.
No, that's interesting. And Boubacar, I want you to jump in and I'll follow you.
Yes. It's I mean, just like I was to say earlier, standard practice, just to kind of follow up on what you just said, Johnny. You know, how just certain people always were put in front of others. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm not trying to figure out why, you know. But my freshman year, I had my standard a great freshman season because I was first one, 6 man to get off the bench after all the seniors. Then the next year, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna step into this role because we're losing all this guy as a 3. I'm gonna step into the 3 position the following year. I'm gonna work, you know I got a year. And I was always told at Georgetown, you here is all about working hard. We're gonna reward you, you work hard, give you what you deserve. Then the very next year, I was called into the office. Now they had just sign in another junior McDonald, All-American from a junior college, JUCO. And I was
Who was
told,
that?
Godwin.
Okay. Godwin.
Yep. So I was called into the office and where everybody, and the one thing about me, I didn't care. Now I don't care where you call me at. I'm not gonna sit there and be a yes, sir. I'm not gonna sit there and just ride with whatever you guys are plotting or planning and go along with it. And I was calling the office with all of them surrounding me, say you one of those few players that can come off the bench and impact the game. Your mindset allows you to come on the bench and still play well. Some people can't. So we're thinking about you coming again from the bench. I'm like, hell no. Hell no. And just like that. And they could have seen and they were all trying to smooth me up. I'm like, and I told them straight up. I say, hell no. I say, you guys told me one thing, and I believe what you say. I say, let the next person come from the bench and do what I did. I say, I work hard for it, and let me compete for it with the guy, whoever is. I say, you just not gonna tell me, trying to think. I say, I'm not stupid, bro. I say, no, I'm not stupid, right? I say, I'm not doing that. And I was pissed. And they could have seen me. I'm not doing it. I don't agree with it. I'm just letting y'all know. Now, I don't manage it. You guys make that decision. But do I like it? Do I agree with it? I say, hell no. And I go home with Allen Iverson. I was pissed, man. My face, I don't say nothing to anybody for Allen asked me, man, what's going on? You being rude. I'm like, man, this is what they're trying to get me to do. He said, hell no. He said, this is.
He said, hell no, too.
Yeah, he's like, well, he said, that's not fair. He said, man, I'm going to talk to them. I say, no. I say, I'm not. I say, don't say nothing to anybody. I say, this is between you and I. But he went behind behind my back and say something to them.
What was the effect? Do you think it mattered or?
I think they know that I'm losing. Like, if you guys do this, I'm gonna lose respect for all of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like all of y'all, and then nothing gonna tell me really matters. I won't believe nothing because this is fake. Then whatever you guys told me to if you do something, you're gonna get it. I say you trying to fix stuff before the season starts, but. I got my wish, but dang, I would be the first one to be pulled out of the game. I would be the first one out every game.
The Ben Guillory effect.
Exactly. They say, how come this Negro gonna say all these, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, they were mad at me, man. They were mad. I don't care though.
So for me, because I was told from the rip I wasn't gonna play. Whatever I got, I was gonna be cool with. So it was already established. You're not playing. So all that did was motivate me.
Yeah.
So I had Fred Brown from New York, Gene Smith from DC. We coming in at the same time. Fred Brown is top 50 in the country. Gene Smith not even bottom 50 in the country. He's not rated. And we're going to Vegas on the summer trip. To play in, this is pre-AAU, and we're on the plane. I'm on my first plane ride, so I'm really excited. So we're sitting there, and Fred comes up and sits beside me, and Big John had given us the playbook for the season because y'all probably ran the same plays we did.
Yeah,
he gave me the playbook, so I'm looking at the playbook. So Fred comes up behind me and goes, "Yo, what you doing?" I'm like, I'm trying to get these plays down, boom, boom, boom. Fred says to me, straight face, man, you don't need to worry about that. You ain't gonna be playing. I said, oh, okay. So for me, it's like, I guess I had already tuned out anything that was gonna be established or told, because I just figured out if you doing it every day in practice, especially being an irritant, and you can carry that over into the game. And again, to Malcolm's earlier point, I'm not shooting anything. So you really want to play with me. Because you know, if I do get a layup, all you gotta do is follow. Billy Martin will tell you from high school. All you gotta do is follow behind him. He gonna miss his layup. You gotta tap dunk. So I say all that to say, you know, I just think I wish I would have been your teammates, because I would have been in your ear. Yo, man, bump that. Forget that. You doing work, because clearly, you know, again, sometimes it's just one of those things. To Johnny point, you might have to break out.
Yeah. Well,
Because my BFF for life, who came in with me as a freshman, left after his freshman year.
Yeah.
Just because 6'9", went to Providence, stayed in the Big East. But it was just one of them things, Johnny, where he was like, yo, these dudes are not going to play. He was a 6'9", and he wasn't aggressive. He wasn't Ed Spriggs. I mean, he was a different kind of player. So he couldn't be what Big John wanted him to be. So he was like, yo, it's time for me to go. What made you stay, Johnny?
Several things. The first one was, I think it was the fear of going back home and people thinking that you're a failure.
Yes.
Or you can't do, you know, you couldn't make it at that level or what have you. Another part of it is like you said, you know, you're playing against these players and you're doing well. You're thinking you're going to get your opportunity. That's going to come. So you sit there and you say, okay, next year this is going to happen. But I should have seen, when you say people transfer, Anthony Tucker, who was the player of the year in the country that year.
With the same high school. Same high school.
Yeah.
McKinley Tech. Yep.
Correct.
Right.
And he transferred to Wake Forest. So I think part of it is part ego also. You think that you are, if you do this, you're good enough to do that. And a year go by, and the whole part of wanting to graduate. I was the kind of person that academically,
You were killing
it wasn't a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that I was dumb or anything. Like I got, you know, but I had my times when I would get into fights, you know, do different things like that. And it was that thing that followed me. So I wanted to change that image. That's one of the reasons why I chose Georgetown. Because I like.
You got in fights, Jones? I'm shocked.
Hey,
I'm sitting here talking about Johnny, one of the nicest guys.
Hey man, my first
down
week at
there
Georgetown.
gangbanging in Florida.
So
My first week at Georgetown, I went to a party over there in Village B, and this kid said the wrong thing, and I hit him. I said, "Oh shit, I'm going home."
so before I get back of the microphone, Johnny, I call around and talk to your teammates before we come on. I do my little due diligence. So what are your ex-teammates? And I want you to try to guess who it was. Wanted me to say to you, tell Johnny Jones the reason why he wanted to go home is because he didn't have a coat.
Hey, I was thinking about that, boy.
And I'm gonna tell you the initials are MT.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
And that's why, honestly, that's why I have so much love for all the people I met, you know, during my time at Georgetown. You know, coming from Florida, we had no heavy coats and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, I went that whole year. That first year I got to Georgetown with a Gore-Tex sweatsuit jacket and a sweater. And when I look back on it, and I was thinking about that today, they could have easily made me feel embarrassed about that situation. I got much love for, like they tell me, I got much love for, because we had some good guys there. I mean, my first year, I was roommates with Smitty, Ronnie Highsmith, and Reggie Williams. Great experience.
You had a crew.
Yeah. My last year there, it was me, Markham, Sam Jefferson, and Alonzo. Ronnie was my road roommate my last year. Got much love for Ronnie. His family too, to be honest with you. Like I said on one of my previous interviews, Miss Thompson was the first one to reach out and help me try to find a job. You know, that's why I wish things was better, because there's so much like I said before, I have so much appreciation for what a lot of people have meant to me during my time there, because you there during a time where you're trying to discover yourself. And the difference between high school and college is that at high school you go home. College, you're with these people 24/7. You know, and you develop these relationships. You know, to this day, like Alonzo helped me out a couple of situations. You know, called him up and bam. And I mean, I can't help appreciate anything anymore. Me and Milton, Sam Jeff, I keep saying Sam. Me and Kemet,
Yeah,
we still
you know I was about to bang you in the head. You had one more time. I let you slip with it. Don't think I didn't notice. Don't think I didn't notice.
But our friendship,
This man talks to Kemet once a week.
Yeah.
We're on three-way conversation sometimes. This dude constantly letting Sam come out of his mouth.
And I'll tell you this, man. Stansberry, he sent me a tape of one of his performances. I got to give it to him because I was looking for stuff. I wanted to get him so bad to talk about how bad of an actor he was that LeVar Burton Jr. went out there. But he did really well. I thought the script was just messed up. Like they didn't put enough emphasis in the backup story to who he was. I wish he could, like, that's the thing that hurts me, because with all the influence and stuff from people that we know, it would have been great that he could have called one of them and got a break and able to further his career and doing what he loves doing. And to me, that's the sad thing about all this, that we don't use the resources effectively to make change for the people that went to that program.
Well, yeah.
We're trying to change that. So
well said. We're trying to change that. Well said.
We've gone through the game, but in that, I kept hearing the theme of practice. So I want all three of you guys to tell me what your best practice was.
I would say my best and worst was the same day. The reason I say that is because I'm killing. Like I'm talking shit, and I'm checking Mark, right? Mark going down the left-hand side, he tries to reverse. I put that shit against the glass.
I heard you had hops. I heard you was a hot riser. I heard.
Mark said one thing to me, and I said, you know what? He shut me up for He shut me up for like 2 weeks. He said, well, I'm playing tomorrow. I said, fuck this shit. But Milton Bell, and I gotta say this, Milton Bell got me through that last year. Because we started this saying, we dunking on everybody from Kaide to the Kimbe. So it became where I didn't even think about playing time no more. I mean, it ain't happened. Let me just go and get my little degree and get up out of here. So it wasn't that stress of, please pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. You know, we have fun in practice. It was over.
That's
go
it.
home. Yeah.
Now, Milton Bell, he transferred out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. He transferred to Richmond.
How long did he stay at Georgetown?
2 years.
Yeah, it's like a year and a half. He left midway.
I played against him in South America. He's a good player.
Oh yeah, and Milton. I mean, and I understand it. Like I said before, when I listed all the players that played on that team, and I'm quite sure all y'all can list all the great players. You know, Gene Smith. When you saying transfer, I remember Anthony Jones transferring.
Yep. For 2 years. Yep.
So with all the talent and everything, I do understand it's a difficult position to be put in to try to figure out who's going to be getting playing time and everything else. But Milton, I didn't know that he played the majority of his career as center when he got there. And he was transferring to the 3 spot, to being on the perimeter, which is a big adjustment.
Huge. I didn't know that either, but that makes sense. I mean, 6'7" guy in high school, especially back then, they're going to throw you in the post.
Right. And be honest with you, if there's anyone at that time who I said, okay, he's playing in front of me, I kind of understand it for 2 reasons. One, Milt had an incredible, that boy can leap out the gym.
Yeah.
Great athlete. And knowing what I know now, if they had taken time to develop him and gave him that confidence, there's no telling where he could have been. Because I've seen highlights of him in Argentina doing what he was doing. And he could have been that player at Georgetown. But
he's a legend, man. He's a legend. Right. It is a club he played for in Argentina, Quilmes. He's a legend. They got pictures of him in the stadium.
So it's like,
Wow.
that's why I don't get too bent out of shape about it. Because I'm quite sure you talk to any player on those teams and they're going to feel like they should have been the player. And I think that's all because all of us are competitive. Like I said before, I just wish I knew now, you just transfer and go to the place where you get opportunity to play with somebody believe in you.
But the funny thing is, I don't mean to interrupt you. We were all the players everywhere except at Georgetown. Like, it's like once we get out of Georgetown, I mean, you become a great player again, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it over and over.
So, Boo, what was your best practice?
It's probably my freshman year, the first weeks, because we were told that we were not gonna. I mean, it was 5 of us. It was 5 freshmen: Jahidi, Allen Iverson, Eric Miles, Jerry Nichols, and me. And now you have Allen Iverson. He's playing. You have Jerry Nichols, who was a McDonald or American.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Then you have Jahidi, which was, they call him Baby Shaq back in those days. Supposed to be the next Shaquille O'Neal.
I think they still do.
Yeah, that's a big boy, man. Woo, athletic, man. As big as he is, so athletic, man. So, and then on top of that, you have 5 seniors who knows the scheme. Yeah, the system, like, they are veterans. So we were told, you want a red shirt, you may want a red shirt, or, because you're not going to get a lot of playing times. And I'm like, nah, I will play. The first week, I just made everybody know who I am. I just fouled everybody. I had great practices. People, I mean, I was physical. I was just knocking people, getting on people's behind. I'm like, I have to be able to play defense. I got to do this.
What was your recruiting like? What was the recruiting process? How did they recruit you?
See, that's the thing. See, I was recruited from Senegal. From Senegal, and Coach Eshrick, who I had a great relationship with until he took over and everything just went south. And but he's the one who recruited me. I mean, great guy, Coach Eshrick. I mean, so I was committed to Georgetown even before I got here. So when I got here, it was a matter of me just finishing my senior year and just, and I didn't allow myself to even look around or consider other options.
Which year? I want to take it to we talked about best game, best practice, and I'm going to stick with you, Boo. Mm-hmm. Which year was your best year? Which year did you enjoy the most? Because your senior year was crazy, dog. Again, you took it to another level, to the point where the unofficial list of top 100, you're on the top 100 list. Mm. I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but
nothing.
but which year was your best year?
It's hard to say. Every year, surviving a year at Georgetown, man. I told everybody it's like spending 5 years. Like, it's like 1 year is like 5 years at Georgetown. Every year, the grind. So it's hard just to pinpoint 1 year as my best year. Mm-hmm. But I will have to say my sophomore year, because I know exactly what to expect. Freshman year had gone by. Now I know exactly what.
You started every game your sophomore year.
I did, even though I was the first one to come out.
Hey, you made me scratch my beard on the.
I see anybody at the scoring table, I'm starting walking that way. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, there you go, because it was a matter of them just trying to prove a point to me, like, that they didn't get their way to what they wanted to do.
Right.
So just trying to tell me. So, but every year at Georgetown, when it was tough, every single year. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like my senior year, after basketball season, I sat in my room, just look. I mean, I'm like,
Boo,
it's really
every year, Boo, I'm looking at your stats, and again, stats don't really matter. They're just something. Every year you got better.
Yeah, but just like Johnny said, I could have got a whole lot better if I was. I tell you how bad things got. We were playing against Notre Dame. Now I'm in a good game. I had at that point, very little shots, by the way. I'm defending.
Well, look at that crew out
yeah, very little. So I'm defending the best player. I forgot what's his name. He played in the NBA. And I knew that he didn't have great feet, that I could go by him a lot. He was guarding me too. So I got the ball this time, and I just drove baseline for the pull up. And I can hear from the bench as I'm making a move, no, Boo, pass the ball. And guess what? I God is my witness. I turn around, I say, shut up and let me play. And guess what? In the process, I made a move and I made a jump shot.
Good for you.
And who are you talking? Who are you talking to? I was upset and I was full. And I was 10, 12 points in a game and having a great game. And I was so upset. I just told him, shut up and let me play. I swear. I was upset, man.
You before your time, because that's what the kids do today.
well, you get to a point where you can't take so much. And these are not something I meant to say. I just reacted.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just making a move. Like I just reacted. Now after I react, I'm like, dang, what did I just say?
I have to share a similar story. I have to, because I don't want to come across as Mr. Goody Two Shoe, climb the mountain. We were playing the game, and all I do is play D. And somebody from the bench yelled, "Gene, pick up your man." Dude, I didn't say anything on the court, but when we got off the court, I let that assistant coach have it. That's all I do. And long story short, I got back to Big John and I had to apologize. But to your point, I just reacted. Because you're in the heat of the moment, right? Johnny, do you have a similar story? Because if you don't, Mark Tillman gave me one.
Shit, I have a whole bunch of stories.
And if you don't, I can help you along.
Well, hold on, Gene. What was your best practice?
Best practice?
Yeah.
My best practice was my last practice at Georgetown, actually.
Oh, wow.
One of the last practices before we went on the road to the NCAAs. We're practicing at McDonough, and guys, I'm not exaggerating. I made it a point to win every sprint. I practice sprints. I practice the touch and turn.
Man.
So I was committed to that. Last practice, my senior year, I jogged.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Go get it. Go get it.
Man.
That was probably my best, because again, I had to, for me, again, I'm going back in time. For me, it was just about establishing, okay, this is Georgetown. We do things differently. We gonna win ugly. We gonna be the last man standing. So for me, that I took that upon myself, and I took that seriously. Like Michael Jackson couldn't stand me when he first got to Georgetown, Markham. Couldn't stand me because I was like, "Yo, dude, we're not gonna be friends." Oh no, dude. And every time I stole the ball or fouled him, hit him on the ass. Hated it. Because, part of me was, you coming in taking my minutes anyway, because you deserve them. But that don't mean I'm a competitor. Right. Just because I was sorry don't mean I wasn't a competitor.
Right.
So that was my best practice. The
Man,
last
that's
one before we went on the road. That was my best joint.
good one. Good one.
All right, so we did the best practices in games.
I tried to do best seasons, but Boo was like, I ain't trying to.
So
Every season, man. I'm not sure. Yeah.
so
Every
so
season.
Boo, what would you say was your worst game?
Who?
You, Boo. What was your worst
my
game?
worst game. Oh man.
Hey, Johnny, you can't say every game.
Oh, I know my worst game.
I think we were playing Memphis. It was some kind of tournament in Canada. I cannot tell you when the game started or when the game ended.
Wow.
Only thing I would see is highlight. The boys from Memphis dunking all over us. I'm just doing this. I mean, and you can tell, you see us, we were stressed out. And the Memphis boy just showed up, just jumping around, laughing.
Happy.
Yeah, and they were on the court, it shows. I mean, we're running, they run, it's not, they're running twice as harder. We're jumping, it seems like they're jumping twice as higher. I mean, we were just getting dunked on everywhere. And I'm like, and before I know the game, I mean, I have no idea when I played, what I did, what happened. I mean, I don't remember anything. It was my worst game. We got beat up in every aspect.
In every aspect. What was the locker room like after?
Woo! I mean, you've been in
Fire.
Yeah, I mean, Big John was livid, and it was on national TV. And
I don't want to give you no nightmares, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Look at your boy. Look at your boy.
Nah, it was no good. It was no good, man. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have a long week of practice again.
Hey, Boubacar, look at your boy.
Give me some flashbacks.
So Johnny, you were a sports guy. Wait.
Actually, my worst game, I didn't know my worst game until I got back to Florida. The reason that is because when I first got to Georgetown, the thing I wanted to do more than anything was just dunk on you, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we was doing this 2-on-2 drill.
Alonzo Mourning will testify to that.
And I was trying to break the rim on them. And Tom stopped. He said, "You swinging on my rim like a monkey." So that always stuck with me. So we playing Syracuse in the Big East tournament, and I'm sitting there, it's wind down time and stuff. So he looks at me, Jones. So I get up, go out there. It's like about 40-some seconds left. Hell. So we come down, Bill comes down the right side, he kicks it to me. And it was a Syracuse player there. So I'm like, okay, I might get a charge. So I'm trying to, but he moves. So I done jump. So I'm like, I could dunk this shit. So I try to turn it over and miss it. So I'm like, what the fuck? No big deal. So Coach Riley comes to me and says, why would you do that? I said, motherfucker, when the next time we get the opportunity to do that? Like, but when I got back to Florida, oh my God.
You heard about it.
Man, I'm like, they all like, they would just huddle around the TV. I said, what the fuck y'all looking at the game? The last 42 seconds, first place. All I heard was boing, boing. About me missing the jump. Man, I hear that jump to this day. Man, we had all the people watching and stuff, and you gonna do something like that? I'm like, but yeah, that was because look, I didn't get that much playing time. So anytime I got out there, I won't say it was like a great opportunity because half of the time, I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 40-some seconds. What the fuck you put me out here for? But actually, it was more of an insult to me because, to be honest with you, when you're sitting there, you watching, and I think I said this last time. I hate to feel this way, but I did feel this way. I thought we lost, so you make a change. I'm like, oh, y'all fuck up, so he can put me in. And you're sitting there and you watching and you're doing this and everything, and you want your opportunity. It is not that I wanted anything like I wish good for but I'm like you said, you competitive. You want to play. And when I got if I got there during times where I felt it was significant, it was straight.
Yeah.
But when you just getting like pity minutes and stuff like that, I ain't take that shit seriously. Like, oh, if I go, because I done it before where you go out there, you feel like you're doing something good, you can build on this, and then you don't play for 8 more games.
Yeah.
So it was like whatever. Games I really like, be honest with you, that when you ask that the best year, my best year was my senior year. My best practice, let me go repeat. My best practice was probably, like you said, and you reminded me of this. We was in practice running sprints. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I running all these goddamn sprints? So I ran to the bathroom.
He caught Boubacar off guard that time.
Oh man.
We done opened up some wounds for Johnny
I
Jones.
went in the stall like I was using the bathroom and stuff and just sat in there. I'm like, man.
Oh, you weren't the only one that did that, dog. No. That ain't that dude.
Yeah, boy. That was my thought process. I'm like, shit, like what the hell?
Hey, Johnny, I'm not lying, dog. I wish I would have played with you, man. For one reason alone. The white team, the second team, we set out to make Big John yell at the blue team.
That's all right.
Dog out the blue team. So I would have been in your ear like this, dog. Where you want it at? You run that. I'm throwing loops. Whatever you need. We gonna embarrass, because we ain't gonna play no way. But we gonna have fun. Dog, I look forward to practice. Mostly my sophomore year. My sophomore year, I averaged 10 minutes a game because I got hurt. I got hurt right before the season started. But I wasn't redshirting. I went to Boubacar. I wasn't going through 5 years. I wasn't redshirting shit.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna do my 4 and be out.
Yep.
So I came back in the second part of the season, but I only played 10 minutes a game, if that. But practice was everything to me. The only way I could get through was, man, I'm dogging these cats out because the blue team always had more pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, we could break the play. We could, we could cheat on defense. They had to run exactly what he wanted them to run. So my whole thing, I'm gonna make them like, but yeah. So practice was everything for me. Everything.
I think it would look different. Like I hear what you're saying,
No doubt.
but like I said before, Milk made it fun for me because, like I said before, we said we're gonna dunk on everybody from Kayode to Kimbe. Right. So yeah, we went at practice and everything and had a little fun and everything. But I will say this, and that's why I say people need to, be appreciative of what they do have. I don't think people realize when you're next to someone, like when we first got on, he said, "Who is Johnny Jones?" Of people not knowing you, and in all your career, you've been that person, and then you go from being that man to nobody. Like I said before, of you going to, like I might come to, like I remember going to the John Thompson groundbreaking ceremony, and I remember sitting there and I was hearing different people talk. And you like, in your mind, you thinking to yourself, I could have really dogged his ass. But what difference does it make? To be in a situation where, that's like me saying, okay, I was better than this person. What proof I got of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
when you sit on that bench and, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so you finish.
When you sit on that bench and your friends and family, who are trying to stick up for you because other people are talking about you don't play and everything else. Yeah. So yeah, practice that shit didn't mean nothing to me when that's going on. Yeah. When you got your relatives and loved ones trying to defend you because you're not playing and you got to sit on that bench.
Yeah.
So
real talk.
Yeah. So, Johnny, obviously we all know what Georgetown spending 4 years at Georgetown was like. And I'll tell you, when I left Georgetown, I haven't been back at Georgetown. I've been back, alumni weekend, but have I been back to the basketball thing? Nah. I was gone. And I don't care what they have, this invitation, that, because I don't think that they are doing enough. They have done enough to get everybody together. and show appreciation and respect to everyone. That's why I didn't know you. I mean, not because you didn't play, because we've never, many other people I don't know, because we never really got everybody together to build this Georgetown family that we all thought we were part of when we went to Georgetown. They have not done it. And I think even when the old man was still alive, I mean, he's never made an effort to, you know, certain people were always Georgetown family for sure. I mean, they felt it, but some other people never felt like it.
I definitely understand that, and I definitely share those thoughts. But I will say this, and this is something I would never do. It's like if somebody asks me about Thompson, about my experience and everything else. If someone outside asks me, I'm gonna tell them all positives, because it would be crazy of me to put down the person that I chose to go to school and be close to.
True.
It would be crazy for me to put down the institution that I represent. So on that aspect, I go ahead and give praise. And like I said before, I would never say no one didn't deserve playing time. Everyone who played, they deserve what they got. More power to them. But I still feel that I should have gotten what I should have gotten. And like I said before, it is a big thing when you go to these events. I don't go because of my ego, to be honest with you. It has nothing to do with all the other stuff. It has more to do with the fact that I'll be looking at them like, what the hell? Like, they talking about how, and I got to sit there and listen to that shit. Like, I got to listen to how, oh, you did this in that game, or you did this in that game. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, well, I practice well. You know, I only want to go through all that. I'm not going to be sitting there living down memory lane of me practicing.
Yeah. I mean, I've never, you know, and
So
we are so,
what would be your worst game?
well, I think it's got to be the game that I mentioned early against Memphis, because I'll tell you right now, I have no idea what happened. And I know I played.
The game that you had to go put on the shirt with.
I said Boo, I meant Gene.
Oh,
Worst game.
Worst game for me was probably, I think it was my freshman year when the Big East tournament wasn't in the Garden, and they played at Syracuse. The dome had just been open, so they played at Syracuse, and we finished 21-10 that year. Lost in the first round in the NCAAs to James Madison or somebody. But in the Big East tournament, we're playing Syracuse semifinal game, and I'm on the foul line. And you know, Boo, you wasn't a great free throw shooter either. So
no.
So we on the same page.
That's
so
right.
I get on the foul line, Markham. It's a 1-1. I think I airballed the joint in the dome. It's one thing to airball in McDonough, but airball in the dome, it's like,
oh my.
It's like it fell from the ceiling. So that, no matter what happened after that in my career, that one always sticks with me. So that probably was my worst game. But I'm not trying to get gossipy here or anything like that. And I'm not trying to get kumbaya. But I want to tell both you brothers, you family, you got family, you wore the blue and gray. That's what this program has morphed into, right? It started off as some other, whatever it started off to, especially since Markham's gotten involved. It's more about what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And like, the end game is to stay connected. And man, I appreciate you brothers, man. I appreciate what you did when you were on the hilltop, good, bad, or indifferent, because you quality individuals. You represent what Johnny said. I got nothing but praise. But now when we get together as a family, now we gonna tell the truth.
There is stuff.
You know, because respect is respect. Game recognized game. So I just want you brothers to know you're loved and appreciated. That's why the outreach is there. And thank you again for coming through. So I wanted to say that. Like, it ain't no, this ain't, to me, all the things they talked about or they say that Georgetown is, this is the most Georgetown shit going.
That's right.
Let me say this, and I agree.
Before you say that, Jones, I just got to say, and I'm interrupting you because I never say this too often. I agree 100% with what Gene just said.
Actually, if he agreed, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it.
I want to piggyback on what you said, and I truly mean this. Regardless, I don't play politics.
No, you
I don't. If somebody at Georgetown wanted my support or needs my support, that's what I'm going to do. I'll let everybody else sort all the other stuff out. My thing is that if you're going to be a change, I mean, if you want change, you got to be the change. I can't sit there and talk about how people should do this, this, and this, and I don't do it myself. So I'm not going to do that. But I will say this, what made me think about something. You said the worst year. My worst year was the year Anthony Tucker came in. Because you know we had to call Miss Finland every night your first year, right?
Right.
So I'm going into my second year. I'm like, yeah.
I don't have to do that no more.
Yeah, all I got to do is call her on Friday, I'm straight. So we're in the locker room and stuff, and she going through like telling us, so she getting Anthony Tucker. She was like, Anthony, you're going to have to call me every day, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sitting there ready to laugh and shit. And she looked at me and said, but John, I think you need to do that another year. Man, I had to do that for 2 years calling this lady.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
You got to be kidding me. I don't know you guys have to do that.
What? Whoa.
I've never called that lady.
What? Y'all didn't have to do that?
No, well, I mean, I never had to.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, I know some people
I think I know all the stuff about Georgetown basketball. Something comes up.
I know some people had to maybe sit down with her, maybe after school or something like that. A freshman year, you may have to meet with her maybe once. But I've never called Miss Finland my freshman year. I've never
Wow.
I never called her at night.
This right here is the best example of something John Duran used to say to me my whole time I was there. Man, y'all got it easy. And I was like, what? You are tripping, bro. We getting called motherfuckers. Man, y'all, Big John got soft in his old age, man. We used to lose a game, come back, we practice, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, you never had to call. That's crazy to me.
No, call Miss Finland for what? No, I'm a little confused. Why? I mean, like, why would I call her?
I will say this.
He said for what?
Listen, no, ma'am. Yeah, no, ma'am. And no, I've never called Miss Finland at night.
Man,
Well, you know, you guys say every day for 2 years.
He's flabbergasted.
Man,
I know Miss Finland number right now.
Wow.
I know
like every day, even on Saturday and Sunday.
Not Saturday.
No,
Sunday,
just the school days.
Yeah.
And talk about school, what it went on.
Yeah. That first night I called her, this lady cursed me out for like 45 minutes.
Oh man.
Because Anthony Allen, Mark and Dwayne, all of them had been called her. So I guess they knew what to do. So I get on the phone, I call her. She had started asking me questions. I'm like, I don't know. You don't know? I'm like, no. Man, that lady went to cursing me out. But I will say this, and I use that to this day with my kids and stuff. I realized that a lot of the conversation I had with her helped me through tests, helped me through my studies and everything else. So I appreciate that. Like with my kids at school, when they turn in an assignment, they have to explain to me, what they learned.
Yeah.
And through those conversations, I know that you learn, are you doing what you're supposed to do? So in that aspect, I appreciated that. At first,
Nah, it's crazy. So that's why I avoided taking classes with any basketball players for this reason. At 8 o'clock, you can have Big Ed in the front of your class waiting. I'm like, what is he doing there?
What you think he's doing there?
And I go to I'm like, I cannot take classes with a bunch of basketball players. I say, every day walk in your class, what you're in the middle of class, if you guys all have the same class, and they stick their head in.
See, Mark, this is why I asked Boubacar, what was your recruiting? Because they didn't tell him anything.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
so these are. I'm like, so I figured out. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna choose my own classes, and nobody gonna pick my classes. I'm gonna pick my classes, and I'm not gonna have any basketball players in there. Yes, me.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good
because
for you.
that was embarrassing.
Man.
I understood you're a freshman, but it becomes embarrassing with as a student. You know what I mean? They coming to check to see if you're in class or walking in the middle of your class and stuff like that. Like you know.
You were too mature. Too mature.
But I also, like, as shocked as I am, I also have sense enough to know that everybody doesn't need that.
Yeah.
Like some people that I went to school with absolutely needed that.
Mhm.
Needed to have that. You know, people always talk about the problems athletes have when they retire professionally after having, you know, if you played 10 years as a professional, you know, add 4 years of college, 4 years of high school, and probably at least 3, you know, in the elementary to middle school, over 20 years, you had a routine. Like, I have to be at practice from 3 to 6. I have to do this to get ready for it. I have to. And then when you're no longer the professional, it's like, whoa, I got all this time. Like, you know, I don't know what to do with it. And some people can't. I have a niece who's a freshman this year at college, and I told when she first left, I sent her a note. I said the most important, in addition to having conversations, I said the most important thing you're going to have to do is manage your time, especially the free time, because college is different. In high school, we got to be in English first period, math second period. It's a whole new ball game in college, and you have to manage that. And everybody doesn't need that. I love you saying call Miss Finley for what? Like I do, because that tells me about you, Boubacar, that you did not need that to be part of your routine, and you were going to take care of your business. You didn't need people coming in to check on you to see if you were in class and doing what you're supposed to do. Let's close this up with the worst. We've done everybody's worst game, right?
Yeah.
Worst practice. Who wants to jump in on that? Worst practice.
I can jump in. I think Gene mentioned something about, or Malcolm, practicing after a game. I think that was my first experience at Georgetown, and I think that shocked me. I mean, literally to this day, it shocked me, because we flew across the country. We play in California, and we won, but we didn't. I mean, we didn't play well to Georgetown standard. You know what I mean?
Who did you play?
I think we played San Diego State. Somebody I forgot. That my sophomore year, we were pretty good. Man, we flew back this right after the game. We get to McDonald, and Coach Thompson say, MF, be downstairs in 20, 30 minutes, dressed, taped up, ready to practice. I'm like, what? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm playing for 4 or 5 hours. I just finished playing a game. I'm sleepy, I'm tired. And this guy say, what? We sat, I promise you, for 30 minutes, we all sat in the locker room like this, looking at each other. Did this just happen? And nobody say one word. We all in the locker room, and nobody say nothing. We just sat there and looking at each other. Like, are we really about to practice right now?
So I'm gonna go next, and I'm gonna stop you. Right, I can't top you, but we came back. I think we played at McDonough. We stayed in uniform, dog, and went to the weight room. Dudes was like, "You got it." I think we won the game we played, and he just wasn't happy the way we won.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to top you, but
no. But no, these are
22 got some extra work in.
no, seriously. I mean, these are real stories that people don't understand. I'm like, I mean, we just play a whole game, flew. It's 2:00 in the morning, in the middle of the winter time. We are back here. Everybody thinking about, man, I'm gonna go in my bed. Man, he said 30 minutes. And when he say, what's the name? Practice uniform on and taped up. I'm like, this man is not playing. Taped up meaning you about to go like a real practice.
Full practice. And
we went, I'm not lying to you. We practiced until like 5:30 in the morning, like regular practice. I was down with that. I'm like, nah, this is, you can't, nobody would ever believe this.
So Johnny, I was told what your worst practice was.
Well, let Jones tell him. I got a feeling of what it might be, but Jones, you tell it first.
I'm trying to figure this out, but he brought back memories. The first time we lost to Seton Hall, we flew back and he called practice. And we were running sprints. And I look to my right, I see Sam Jefferson, Tucker. Look to my left, I see Anthony Allen, a couple other people. Then I look to the sideline, I see Smitty in the ice bucket, Mark getting treatment, Dwayne. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, we didn't play. We running sprints. I'm like, man,
you're a little confused. You're a little confused.
Yeah, I'm like, the people that played are sitting there chilling. I guess he wanted to get some earn our scholarship money or something. That's all I came up with. But I'm curious to find out what y'all feel about worst practice.
Well, just so you fellas know, before Markham, because I think Markham and I are on the same page. Even though we didn't talk, I think we're on the same page. I want to thank both you brothers for your time on Sunday. Like I said, your family to me, and if I just pick up the phone and check on you from time to time, believe you me, it's everything. But this is everything that Georgetown's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. So, Mark, I'm gonna let you take us home with Johnny's worst practice.
Well, no, I thought he talked about it earlier. I thought he was gonna say when Tillman told him it didn't matter, I'm gonna be playing. Yeah. Tillman always, if we get together, Tillman, good to bring that one up. Right. Good to bring that one up.
I don't think that was it. I think it has something to do with falling asleep standing up with your eyes open.
Oh.
Man, I was checking that.
And I'm sorry, the second one involved the sausage sandwich.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I still try to figure out, like, for somebody who didn't play that much, that man always came to me, man.
Because he loved you. He loved you. I'm telling you, Johnny, to the man, everybody said you were the best team, which is interesting to hear you share, because clearly, you didn't give off that. Like, everybody wanted you as a teammate. Everybody wanted to be around you. So, yeah, man, that's why when I reached out to you, because, again, this is your second time through. When I reached out to you, dog, I already had a treasure trove of stuff about you. So it's interesting to hear you say, your ego keeps you from coming back through. Well, I'm just telling you, dog, you love, man. You love.
But I love them, like, and I say this from the heart, man. I mean, I don't think people truly understand,
he loves Kemet so much that he refuses to call him by his name.
like when you say Mark Tillman, like, that's my boy there. Like, when I first got to Georgetown, me and him clicked right away. Anthony Allen, Jonathan Edwards, man, I can't. It's Smitty.
Johnny, I don't know what you did. Something happened to your audio.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, but it's like.
Oh, breaking up.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Like Charles Smith, like I've said this plenty of times. When I first got to Georgetown, he was my, my roommate. And he's the one that took me around DC, his family. To me, it's easy to be that way. Like Markham, you know, me and Markham been communicating all this time. We'll crack on one another and stuff, but there's a lot of love there. And I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Eugene Smith, like, when y'all talk about recruitment, he really didn't have to recruit me. Even though, like, Syracuse is probably my second choice. But ever since I was in high school, watching Georgetown and like I said, what y'all represented, I wanted to be that. So I want Georgetown to be that again. Like, I want Georgetown to be a school that when people hear it, they think of quality people, quality players, and just all around quality program. And like, I'm so impressed with a man right here. Like, I wish I had his mentality when I was at Georgetown. And that's all I kept thinking about, that he was way more mature than I was at Georgetown. You know, the way he handled situations, the way he spoke up for himself, all that. And to know that makes me proud to know that he went to Georgetown. You know, I am so impressed with a lot of people who've gone there and what they've done. You know, Kemet, you know, after leaving Georgetown, went to law school. You know, Neil Milton would say, after 4, I can't do no more. But, you know, Kemet went to law school, and, you know, I'm just so impressed with what people have done, you know, since they left Georgetown, even when they was at Georgetown. You know, I have nothing but good things to say about my relationships with the players at Georgetown, even the coaches. You know, even though, like I said before, I understand the business part of it now, and like I said, my ego can get in the way sometimes. But I understand, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to harp on anything like that. But I just wanted to say I got much love for everybody at Georgetown.
Appreciate
And
it.
the feeling is mutual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Well, I'm gonna close this out. Thank you guys for coming on this show at 22s. I want y'all to know that Robert Churchwell sent me a message. He said he would not come on a show with you guys. He had a double number. He would only come on with 33s. I'm just telling you what Church told me.
Okay. Well, all I know is I'll put Boubacar on Church and he wouldn't give
Good man. Good man.
Very good man. Yes, sir.
Good man, Church. He's a good man.
This is a quote from Helen Keller that I think is a good one. Everything, even in darkness and silence, has its wonders. Helen Keller. Thank you very much. So great episode.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great.
Safe travels, family.
Y'all take care. Love y'all.
I'm about to go Memphis Boubacar Al style on
all you going to do is make some Gatorade.
Peace.
Peace, guys. Love you.
Love you too. Thanks,
all
guys.
Right. Travel safe.
Yes, bye.